What is up, guys? We're back with another video, and today's video is all about travel tech. My travel tech bag has evolved over the last few years, and I haven't made a video on this channel about it, so I figured everybody's traveling this time of year, so it is the perfect time to make a video like this. Everything that's in this video is something that I do use. It's not something that's sponsored. Nothing in this video is sponsored. So if you see something, it's something that I actually do use when I do travel. Now, this is going to be a decently long video, so I will have timestamps of where everything is so you can kind of scroll through and pick the thing that you want to see. Also, everything in this video will be linked below, or you'll see a card on the screen so you can go ahead and pick it up. So let's just go ahead and get started. So we're going to start things off with our backpack here. And this is the Torch backpack from Unit 1. And if you've never heard of Unit 1, I really didn't up until I got this bag. And essentially, they are a company that makes smart helmets for cyclists. And the whole idea behind this bag was to be a bag for cyclists, for people who are commuting on a bicycle to work. That's kind of what it was. But this is probably the best designed tech bag that I've ever used, or laptop bag. I mean, it just really is. And it's really high quality as well. That's the thing I like about it. So you can see I have this really cool green color. They offer this in a bunch of cool colorways, which I like. And the fabric is super high quality. So this is going to be a Codura fabric, and it's water resistant, meaning that if it starts to rain, water is going to kind of drip off of it, which I like. And then all of the zippers here are going to be waterproof. So if it is raining, water's not going to seep in through those zippers. So I really, really like that. Now, another thing I like about this is that we have this fully loaded out with everything that we're going to be talking about today. So a lot of gear, but I mean, it's pretty thin. Like if you look at this, this is pretty thin overall. I've went on multiple trips with this bag, and it fits under the seat in front of me, no problem. So I can use this as my personal item and then still have a carry-on, which is great. And it's very comfortable as well. So like the back is nicely padded, which I like. Really, really like that. Lots of cushioning kind of everywhere on this. So really, really like this bag for those reasons. There's also a handle here as well, so you can like fully pick it up and hold it this way, which is great. Now, as far as why I like it internally and everything like that, there's a ton of pockets and things that are really easy to access. So up top here is an easy to access pocket. So it's a zipper pocket, and in there I usually have like my phone, my keys, passport, things like that, just right in here. And there is a key ring in here, and attached to that key ring, I do have an AirTag. I think that if you have any type of bags, you should always have some type of tracking device in it. I'm an Apple person, and I just got a pack of like 4 AirTags, so this is that one. But you should always be tracking your bags no matter what, of course, especially when you are traveling. Now, there is an easy to access pocket right here on this side, you know, right there. And then on this side, we do have room for a water bottle. I haven't found like a great water bottle for travel yet, like a stainless steel one that I really, really like. So if you guys have any suggestions, definitely let me know there. Now, the laptop compartment is on the back, and this fully opens, which is really, really cool. So this is going to fully open up here, and now we have access to our laptop here and our tablet. So this fits up to a 16-inch laptop in here, and then there is a tablet compartment right here as well, which is nice. And this little clip is magnetic, so you don't have to like try to fidget with it. It just snaps, like look at that, just snaps right together, which I love. There are some pockets here, which is great as well. And then we have this built-in little tech pouch. So many times I have to buy a tech pouch. This is actually built into it, and it has these little snaps on the back, and they're magnetic, so it just snaps like right onto here. Super easy. So now it's snapped in. So now when I close this up, I'm essentially good to go. Then to get into the rest of the bag, we just have this little clip here. So we undo that, open this up. We have another little zippered pocket right here. Easy to access that. Again, you can put some stuff in there. And then this section, I have this open here. So we just open this up, and this is like a big, deep section. You can see I have a bunch of stuff in there. Big, deep section here. There's another pocket right here, which is great as well. So lots of room inside of this. That's why I like it. I can fit so much gear in here. It comes with the tech pouch, which again, there's not many backpacks that actually come with an included tech pouch. And that tech pouch is just really, really handy. And it's the way that it's designed where it sits sort of up here, so it's not making this bulge out as much. Just really, really like that. Now, getting into hardware here, I have the ROG Zephyrus G14, and this is a pretty new laptop that I've been using a lot recently. And this is the 2025 model. So we have a Ryzen 9 processor, an RTX 5060, 16 gigabytes of RAM. And I think that is the perfect balance of what I want when it comes to a laptop that I'm traveling with. I can do some light gaming on it, but at the same time, it's powerful enough where I can do video editing and things like that I want to. Now, some things about this laptop that I actually really like. One, the display is amazing. So we do have an OLED panel here. It's a 3K panel, just looks absolutely amazing. Another thing I really, really like about this is the actual keyboard itself. Typically, when I'm traveling, I miss my mechanical keyboard, but these keys are actually really, really nice to type on. I was actually really surprised about that. And then we actually have full-size USB-A ports and a card reader as well as HDMI on this, like full-size HDMI. You don't see that. You know, a lot of these new laptops, you have to get a dongle and all that. This has all the proper ports. You really don't need a dongle if you really don't have a specific thing. Like, you really don't need to get a dongle with this. So that's why I love this. And just like the size too, I mean, this is quite small. It's a 14-inch laptop, but I mean, very, very small for what it is, and it's the perfect thing for me for travel. After my laptop, I have my tablet here, and I always travel with a laptop just because a tablet is a much better experience on a plane, especially when it comes to like watching movies and things like that. Just because a laptop takes up a lot more space, and the battery life on a laptop, it's just not going to be remotely close to as good as something you're going to get on a tablet. Now, my tablet here is the iPad Air M3. I've recently picked this up. I had an older iPad that lasted me forever, and I think tablets in general just last forever. So my old iPad actually had a lightning connector, so that's how old it was. And I finally just upgraded to this. I was just like, it's time to finally upgrade the iPad. And this is gonna have more than enough power for what I want to do with it. The new updates to iPad OS also make this pretty good for like getting some work done. I was actually really, really surprised, because typically I just use this to like watch movies and things like that, maybe some games. But I was actually really impressed with like the multi-window and stuff you can do in the newer iPad OS. Now, as you can see, I do have a case and a keyboard on it. This is not the Apple one. The Apple one, you're actually stuck with the keyboard at all times. Like, you can't put it on the stand and then still, like, you can't move the keyboard. With this one's from Logitech, and I really like it because, you know, if I'm doing some work, I have the keyboard, but if I just want to watch a movie, I can fully just take the keyboard off and then, you know, watch my movie, which is really good. Have room in front of me for like a drink or some food, especially again on domestic flights, those tray tables are incredibly small. So this just makes this the perfect thing. And then if I want to do some work, this is magnetic, so just magnetic right on, and then I have my keyboard here. One other thing I like about this, one, like I said, it is going to protect my iPad as well, but I can also do like different angles. Maybe if I want to draw or something like that, I can do that with this one. So I really like this one from Logitech. I've recently added a mobile gaming console to my tech bag here, and I wasn't initially sold on these when they first came out. Even the Steam Deck, I was like, I'm never going to use it. But once you use it, the experience is actually really good. And again, if you are traveling, it probably is the best gaming like piece of tech that you can get, just for the fact that, one, you can play AAA titles no problem. Like, you can play your fully fledged PC games on this, but at the same time, it's a great experience when it comes to like retro games and arcade style games. It just does it all, and it's a fully fledged PC at the same time. So like, you can do everything with this. These are expensive. This one is the Legion Go S, and I like it. I like the screen size. Like I said, the ergonomics on this are really good as well. If you didn't want to splurge the money for something like this, I would say there's like so many of those retro gaming consoles that you can get for like as low as 50 bucks, and you can spend like $400 or $500 on them as well. But maybe something like that. And if you're somebody that does have a tablet, just go ahead and get one of those Bluetooth, controllers, and that's going to make your gaming experience on your iPad or even on your phone just a lot better overall. Of course, with all this tech, you need some good audio. So for my over-ear headphones, I have the One More Sonoflows, and I've been using these for well over, I think, 2 years now. Like, I got them when they first came out, kind of on a whim. And one, as you can see, they come in this nice hard shell case, which I really like. They're incredibly comfortable. And for active noise cancellation headphones in this price range, I don't think they can be beat. Like, in this price range, I really don't think they can be beat. They have good sound isolation in general, incredibly comfortable for hours on end, so I can wear these for a very long time. If you didn't want to bring the hard shell case with you, even though it makes it easy to like throw these in your bag, these do also just lay completely flat, so they're easy to just get right down in your bag as well. But for the price, I think these are going to be the best active noise cancellation headphones that you can find. For earbuds, I recently picked up the Nothing Ear A's, and I'm actually really impressed with these. I've heard so much about Nothing. I've really never taken a look at any of their products, but I mainly picked these up because of the design. They have this sort of transparent design, which I wish more companies would go back to, like the transparent tech. You guys remember the transparent tech in the 90s? I wish more companies would do that. And these just, like, they look really cool, but they're very comfortable, good sound isolation, which of course is something that you want when you are on the plane. Really good bass on these as well. I was really impressed with the actual bass. It's one of the better basses that I've experienced with earbuds. And another thing I really like about these is that instead of having actual touch controls, you have stem controls. So you actually press in on the stem and that controls your music and all of that. So if you are on a plane and you kind of trying to relax, you don't accidentally hit the earbud and then it just messes up your audio or whatever. They also have a really nice app that allows you to adjust your EQ and do everything like that. So for earbuds, these are my favorite. I recently picked up a pair of Ray-Ban Metas, and I wasn't necessarily sold on these when they first came out, and I'm honestly not necessarily sold on these now, but I decided to pick these up. These are the Gen 2, so they're the newest ones, and I don't even wear glasses, but these are the ones that have the transition lenses, so when I go outside, the lenses will get dark and turn into sunglasses, which I like. And I don't even know how I look with these on. I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of the frames either, to be honest. But of course, these are, Meta Ray-Bans. So I can hold this in, and now I'm shooting a video of what I'm recording right now. It gives you a great POV. And I think for what I do as far as creating content, this is like the perfect POV shot. It's also a lot less intrusive, instead of having like an actual camera, it's just a lot less intrusive, and it's just super easy. If I have these on, I can always shoot content. I don't even have to grab my phone, which is great. On top of that, I was really impressed with the audio. Like, so many times I just kind of want to be doing what I'm doing, but listen to good music and, not disturb people around me. And the audio on this for listening to music and taking calls is actually pretty amazing. And people around you can't hear it, but of course there's nothing going into my ears, but it's actually really, really good. And of course you get all of the other cool features that you get with this, like live translation and asking it, what am I looking at? I really don't use those things, but for the audio and just the ease of just taking a picture or shooting a video, I think these are great. If you are traveling and you want to capture those moments and you do want a dedicated camera or a video camera, I always suggest getting an action camera. So this is the DJI Action 5. I've had this for a while. I took it with me to Taiwan. I took it pretty much all over the place. And the reason I always suggest an action camera is, one, you can beat the crap out of these. Like, they're waterproof, you can throw them on the ground. Like, it's very hard to break these, which I like. And when you're traveling and doing things, you don't want to think about the camera. You just want to shoot, right? Talking about that, these are so easy to shoot with. You kind of just hit a button. Like, I can just hit record and it's instantly going to start recording me, right? And these are wide angle enough that you can, get your shots that you want. On top of that, it does have the screen on the front as well, which is great. And I have a cage around this one, just to give it a little bit of protection, but it also gives me a little bit more options as far as what I can mount and things like that. The cage that I have is from Small Rig and I like it quite a lot. It does give me a thread on the bottom, so I have this nice little mini tripod. That's one of my favorite things, just so I can set this up. But Yeah, the cage is great, and having a little mini tripod allows you to set this up. But again, these action cameras you can essentially set anywhere. Now, talking about little tripods, I have this little MagSafe tripod from Ulanzi. This is their MA38, and this is like an all-in-one content machine and a tripod at the same time. So grabbing my phone here, it is fully MagSafe. So I can just put this on the back, and say I did want to capture some moments, I can totally go like this and vlog, no problem. But I can fully open this up, and now I can go ahead and, you know, see my messages. I can watch something. I can turn the phone this way and go ahead and watch something as well. It's just super, super easy to go ahead and do that. Now, on top of that, this actually has an Arca Swiss mount, which is great. It has this little thing that comes out from the bottom, so you can like put this on the top of a doorway and get an above shot. Like, this little thing does everything, and it's just so easy to like put it all back together, and it's just something small like this that you can easily throw in your bag. But if you have anything that's MagSafe, this is gonna be the perfect tripod. Now, of course, when I'm on the plane, I wanna keep everything nice and charged up, and that's where this comes in. This is Anker's 25,000 milliamp hour portable charger. It has a max output of 165 watts, so it can totally charge up a laptop as well. It is going to be airline safe, and it has a bunch of cables built in as well. So if you do forget that cable, you're covered here. So the lanyard itself is actually a USB Type-C cable, and that's gonna do 100 watts. So fast charging there. There is a retractable cable right here, and that's also gonna do 100 watts, and that's gonna be a Type-C. You also have a Type-C and a Type-A as well. So again, you can charge 4 devices at the same time. So you can have this sitting on the tray table, charging multiple devices all at the same time, which I like. And then when you do plug something in, so let me go ahead and plug my phone in here. When I plug my phone in, it's actually going to go ahead and show me on the screen like how much output that I'm actually doing. So I really, really like that. And then you can see, you can like cycle through and get even more information on the battery and everything like that. I just love that Anker products do that. It's just super cool overall. Now, say I don't want that big charger out. I just want to charge my phone. That's where something like this comes in. So this is Anker's Nano wireless charger. So all you do is you just snap it right to the back of your phone, and they call it Nano because, I mean, look at that profile, super, super small. So I could totally put this in my pocket if I wanted to. And if you think about it, like you're going on a trip, you're going out for the night, you don't want to have to bring a charger, bring a cable. This just makes things so much easier. And again, as a guy, you can fit this whole thing in your pocket, no problem. Now, when I get to the hotel room, I have 3 chargers here, and I actually use all 3 of these, and each one of these serves a different purpose. So we're gonna start out, if I do any international trip, I'm taking my universal travel adapter here from Anker. So this essentially has all of like the different plugs for different countries, you know, and I can, you know, depending on the country I'm in, I plug this into the wall. And then on the opposite side, I get my plug where I plug in, you know, my normal plugs. So like my US plugs are gonna go in here, and then I can charge all of my devices. But on top of that, you also get some USB ports. So there's 2 Type-C and then 2 Type-A. So this can charge up to 5 devices at the same time. Super small, easy to go ahead and take with me. So any international trip, this is coming with me. Now, when I get to the hotel room and I wanna set up like right beside the bed, you know, at the end of the day, I'm always charging my watch and I'm charging my phone. That's where this charger from AC Island comes in. One, it comes in this nice hard shell case, so this is easy to travel with, and it has everything in it. So we have the actual charger itself. It opens up here, which is super, super nice. And it gives you wireless charging for your phone, and it puts it at an angle. So, you know, if you do get a message or something and you're like in bed, you could just glance over and see this, which I like. And then there's an Apple Watch charger that comes out. So that's going to wirelessly charge your Apple Watch. And then you also have wireless charging for earbuds right here as well. So you can charge all of those things at night at the end of the day, which I like. It does come with its own brick as well, so it's going to give you proper power, because typically the power outlets at the hotels are going to be like 5 watts, and this can fast charge, so we want the power brick. And it comes with quite a long USB cable as well, so you shouldn't have any problems there. And then finally, I have this Anker 140 watt charger. So this is going to replace any of the chargers for, say, my iPad, my laptop, anything else. this is going to replace that. So it does 140 watts, so it can totally charge my laptop. And again, it can fast charge all of my other devices. It has 3 Type-C and 1 Type-A. The top 2 Type-Cs are going to be 140 watts. The third Type-C is going to be 40 watts, and then that Type-A is going to be 33 watts. So, you know, this is sort of like my charging station when I'm at the hotel. Everything gets plugged into this. Everything's going to fast charge. And this one's really cool too, because it does have the screen on it, which is nice, just like a lot of Anker devices. So you can see how fast you're charging and how, you know, how everything's going. So I really like that as well. For charging cables, the biggest thing I would say to you is don't use the charging cables that came with your device. More than likely they're trash and they're going to break anyways. I would always suggest getting like aftermarket cables, just because they're higher quality and typically they're going to be fast charging as well. So here are a few cables that I've been using and I've really enjoyed. I always like having like a short cable, and I have these 100-watt short cables. I like short cables because you don't want a big long cable, especially when either you're charging something in your pocket or in your bag. You don't want this big cable mess. Or if you're on the plane, you don't want that big cable mess as well. So having short cables is definitely ideal. And again, 100-watt fast charging, it is a nicely, you know, nicely made cable, high quality. So I like these. The next one is from Raycon, and this is their Magic Spin cable. And the reason it's called Magic Spin, let me go ahead and plug it in. And basically, everybody knows that on your device, the part of the cable that actually fails is right at the connector. Well, this one, as you can see, it spins. So that is never gonna break. And then on top of that, this is all made of metal, nicely braided cable. This is also a fast charging cable. And then finally, I have the M-Fish cable. And if you've ever bought any cables from M-Fish, they come in this nice travel bag, which I like. Really, really nice travel bag. And then this one's pretty cool. So this one is a dual Type-C. So you have one connection and then it splits out to 2 Type-C connections. And then on the opposite side, you have a USB-A, but say your charger is USB-C, this just pops open and now you have a USB-C connection. So say you're at the airport and there's only, say, like a USB, say all your chargers are USB-C, but the one at the airport is only USB-A, you can, you know, go to USB-A. On top of that, they do have a little readout here that actually lets you know how fast you're actually charging. So I really like that. High quality cable, fast charging cable as well. When it comes to storage, I always have a handful of portable SSDs on me. And the ones that I typically use the most are these small little Crucial ones. You can see the size. I mean, these are very, very small. So this is the X10 Pro and this is just the X10. The big difference between these two is that the X10 Pro is metal and the X10 is made of like a plastic. They're SSDs, so there's no moving parts, so you can kind of throw these around and they're pretty rugged and everything like that. Both of these are USB 3.2 Gen 2x2, so they're gonna be super fast when it comes to transfers. Crucial just announced they're no longer going to be selling commercial or consumer products. So you may be able to find these on a sale. And if you do, I would go ahead and pick them up. But these are the ones I typically use when I'm traveling. Another portable SSD that I always have with me is my Patriot PVP-30. And this is actually a portable SSD. It looks like a flash drive, but it's actually a portable SSD. And the reason I actually like this is because I don't need a cable. It has a Type-C connection right on it, so I can plug this right into my device, no problem. It makes transferring between devices really easy. I don't have to go look for a cable. I love the form factor, and this one's actually really well made because it is made of all metal. Nice construction here. Then you have a Type-C on one side, and then you can flip it to a Type-A. So if you're transferring between like friends' computers and things like that, if somebody doesn't have a Type-C, you have the Type-A there. And I just love the form factor because I can easily just go ahead and throw this in my pocket. I recently picked up this card reader and card case from PGY Tech, and it's really nice. It's nice and rugged, which I like. And then if you press up from the bottom, it reveals itself as a card case. This is going to hold all of your SD cards on both sides, which is really, really nice. And then it's actually a card reader. So here's the actual card reader right there. And then there's a Type-C cable that you open up. and now you can just plug this right into your device. Makes it really easy if your laptop does not have a card reader or your friends doesn't. You're always gonna have all of your cards with you, and of course you're always gonna have that card reader. Now it's always good to have one of these little hubs, even if your laptop does have a lot of ports on it, because sometimes you just need the extra ports. So this one's from Ugreen. A bunch of different companies make these. I think Ugreen is a good company. This is pretty high quality, nice metal and everything like that. This is gonna give me some extra USB ports as well as HDMI on this side. And then I do get a card reader. And one thing that's nice about this is because it is Type-C, I can also connect this to my iPad and get some extra ports, or if I need the card reader, I have it right there as well. Now I do travel with a mouse, but this is not necessarily a travel mouse. It's a bit of a smaller mouse. It's a lightweight gaming mouse from SteelSeries. It's their Aerox 3 wireless, but I have the Ghost Edition, which sort of has this sort of see-through white plastic. It's really, really nice. I like it that this is lightweight. I also like it that I can use this via Bluetooth or the 2.4 gigahertz included dongle. It's nice and small, which I like. Battery life is great, feels good, comfortable. And I always use this, especially when I'm doing work. Like, it's so much easier to edit videos with an actual mouse. So I always bring this one with me. I always bring a speaker with me when I'm traveling. I like to listen to music when I'm in the shower, but on top of that, say you're going to the beach or something like that, like you want some good music and you want it to be better than somebody's phone, right? So this is the JBL Go 4. It's the perfect little speaker. Really good sound quality, and it's definitely loud enough. Like if you had this on the beach, all you need is one of these little speakers. It is dust and waterproof as well, so you can essentially beat the crap out of these. I really like the nice fabric finish on this as well, and I just like love these from JBL. They make a bunch of different ones, but for travel, this one's nice and small, easy to take with you. So one thing I always started carrying with me is this little mini EDC flashlight. I just really like it, and I think that using something like this as opposed to the flashlight on your phone is just a lot easier. On top of that, this flashlight, like here's it, like normally it's just like your normal flashlight. It's not that bright, but this actually gets incredibly bright. Like look, like this is super, super bright. And I really like this one. This is from Woobin. It's their G5. Really high quality build on this. It's made of all metal, waterproof as well, charges via Type-C, so you don't have to worry about batteries. And it has this like rotatable head as well, and a clip, so you can essentially clip this to a hat. So say you're going hiking or something like that, you can clip it to your hat and you can see everything. But I think using something like this, even on the plane, like looking for something under your seat or whatever, this is gonna be a lot easier than say something like your phone. So that wraps it up here for my tech essentials. This is essentially everything that I travel with, and everything here is incredibly useful to me. And hopefully this video makes it useful to you if you can use any of these items. Of course, as I mentioned, everything is linked below if you wanna go ahead and pick anything up. And if you did have any questions about anything that I talked about here today, just leave it in the comment section below. If you did enjoy this video, I would appreciate it if you hit the thumbs up. We'll see you guys in the next video.